Also, I went to go see Guardians of the Galaxy this past Sunday night, and this is not wrestling related, but it does feature Batista, so I did want to talk about this just very briefly. But I did finally go see Guardians of the Galaxy this past Sunday night. Working at a movie theater, I was able to score free tickets to the show, and free popcorn, and free soda, so that's one of the perks of working at a movie theater. But that being said, though, I thought it was a tremendous movie. I mean, people for months and months and months, and I've been looking forward to this movie for a long time now since it was initially announced, not because I'm a comic book fan, and even though I'm not a comic book fan, I've seen the Iron Man movies, I've seen the Avengers, Captain America, all that kind of stuff. I watch those movies just because they're awesome, not because I'm a big comic book guy. But that being said, though, I was looking forward to this movie specifically, not because I knew the lineage of the comics behind it or anything like that. I just wanted to go see it just because it starred Batista. And being the big Batista fan that I am, I figured I would support him in whatever he did and watching this movie. So a lot of people said going into it that it's going to bomb, it's going to be a big financial disappointment, it's going to suck, it's not going to be funny. So I didn't set my expectations all that high going into it, but after hearing the tremendous amount of success that it did over the weekend, box office wise, I was pretty pumped for it, even more than I already was, and it definitely delivered, and more so, definitely exceeded my expectations in being an absolutely awesome movie. Can't suggest it enough for people to go check it out. Can't recommend it enough. I thought it was a great flick. Batista in his role as Drax the Destroyer, I thought was great. There's been a few articles up on USA Today and a few other websites praising his performance in the movie, and rightfully so. I thought he was great, Batista, especially with this being one of his first a few movies. He's only done a few before this, and nothing ever really this big of a blockbuster, obviously. So with that in mind, I thought he did great in his role. I thought it was absolutely hilarious of a movie, much funnier than I thought it was going to be, and probably the funniest Marvel movie I've ever seen. And that being said, some people have said it was the best Marvel movie that they've ever seen. I have to agree with that. Some people, the comic book people, will probably disagree, and rightfully so. I can name a few movies that were probably better than this one, but in my opinion, the movie that I enjoyed the most out of every Marvel movie that I've seen was this one. I thought Captain America 2 was fantastic. That comes close to beating out this one, but not quite. The Iron Man movies were good. Not a big fan of the Thor movies. The only movie that comes to my mind as being as good as this one was Avengers, and it's really up there because that was one of my favorite movies of 2012, but this movie, I can't recommend it enough. I thought it was hilarious, had a lot of great action, a lot of detailed in all the characters that were featured. Thanos, the villain, the main villain, not Ronan, or Roman, or whatever his name was. I think it was Ronan. But that being said, though, he made a good villain. Thanos is the bigger villain in the bigger picture of the Marvel Universe, with it being the main villain for the Avengers movie also. So by the end of the movie, I was really anticipating an eventual encounter between the Avengers and the Guardians of the Galaxy, so hopefully they incorporate that into the plot and the storylines at some point. Maybe not in Avengers 2, because I know that comes out next year, and production has already begun, but hopefully for Avengers 3, which is rumored to be released in 2013. Like I said before, I'm not a big comic book guy, so a lot of the people that are may disagree with me here, but I thought it was a great movie. By far the best movie I've seen thus far in 2014. Captain America 2 comes close, but from what I heard, this movie scored even more money than that one did, which I thought was a big surprise. But, yeah, like I said before, go check it out at your local movie theater. Batista's performance was great, but then again, everyone in the cast was terrific as well. So, great movie. Can't wait to go back and watch it again. Hopefully I can before I go back to school within the next month. But, great movie. Go check it out when you get the chance.